your personality may be getting in the way of your success. Whether this is success with a relationship, success in your business, success in, I don't know, your friendships, but not understanding your personality and not understanding the personality of others is typically what causes a clash. I'm reading this fantastic book called Surrounded by Idiots, and the book basically talks about how an idiot is somebody that is unlike you. And many times when we're working with our clients or we're with our friends or we're with people that are different from us, it's easy for us to get into arguments. It's easy for us to clash. We may actually lose clients because we don't understand the personality of the people that we're working with. And so I want to kind of go through each one of the personalities really quickly. I'm not going to do a whole book review, but I think it's really, really important for you to read this book. It's one of the best communication books that I've read. It's definitely up there with How to Win Friends and Influence People, 7 Levels of Communication. It's a fantastic book. And I think if you want to have better relationships, a better marriage, even in your business, this book has helped me as a real estate agent tremendously. So let's kind of go through the 4 colors that the book talks about. So the first color is red. And what I should say before I even start is that most people are made up of 2 colors. The majority of people are made up of 2 colors, maybe even a little bit of a third color. The book says that very, very few people are made up of 1 color, and almost nobody is made up of all 4 colors. So red is more of the aggressive type. I'm a red. Reds actually take challenges as something that's good. If a red does not have a challenge, it actually stresses them out. And in relationships, reds can seem dominant. Reds can seem aggressive. Reds can seem very confident, very assured of themselves. Some people view reds as like jerks, like they're too aggressive. They talk to me in any old way. They don't really care about people. And so who in your life are you dealing with that may have more red in their personality? What kind of client are you dealing with where it's always a negotiation? You have to fight for everything. They seem pretty aggressive. They don't necessarily may not trust you because they always have a very, very strong opinion. And if you deny their opinion or you say their opinion is wrong, you're going to be in for a battle. All right. That comprises the red. The next color is yellow. So when I did my test, the DISC test, DISC, I had mostly red. I want to say about 70-75%. I had probably, 50% yellow. And then I had like a tiny percent of blue. Yellow are the inspirational, motivational talkers, storytellers. They walk into a room and they never met a stranger, great personalities. They're not awkward when it comes to conversations. The thing about reds, though, is that reds talk a lot. Reds love to tell stories. Reds love to be included in the group. Reds don't like being excluded outside of the group. So if you have a client that you're working with and your client is a yellow and they're just great personality, they love to talk, you connect with them. It feels really good when you connect with them. What's probably going to happen is when you deliver bad news to that client, maybe based on something that they did that was wrong. Hey, you shouldn't have did this. They're going to withdraw because they want to feel like part of the group. They do not like isolation and they do not like exclusion. So who in your life, when it comes to your relationships or your clients, are yellows? It might be you, but it's good to understand who you are. Like if I know that I'm a red and I can be aggressive, if I'm working with a client that is maybe a little more reserved, then I know that I have to adapt, not change, but in that situation, I have to adapt to make that client feel more comfortable as we're, going and seeing houses and things like that. The third color is green. And the book says that the majority of people are greens. Greens are a little bit more subdued. They're to themselves. The way that I took a green is that they live a lot in the inner world. They are Very, very big on being safe and being secure. They don't like change. They're good listeners and they're good in relationships, but change scares them because they're always looking for security. And the book says this is the majority of people, which means when you're dealing with your client, when I'm helping my client buy a house for the first time or sell a house or whatever, I may be dealing with people who are terrified on the inside. It doesn't mean that reds and yellows don't experience the same kind of fear, but greens, they really, really dislike not knowing what's coming ahead. You have to prepare a green. Hey, here's what's going to happen. Here's going to be closing costs. Here's what you need, so on and so forth. If you're in a relationship with a green and there's going to be a change, you're going to have to prep that green for change. Hey, look, there's something coming down the road. We're going to so on and so forth. I'm getting a new promotion. I'm going to be changing jobs, but it's going to be 2 months from now. So who's a green in your life? Who acts like this in your life that you say, wow, that's actually part of their personality. I did not know that. These are the greens. Blues are the fact finders. When I think of a blue, I think of like an accountant. When you're dealing with a blue, they're going to gather every single detail and fact before they make a decision. They're very, very detailed. They've combed over all the information 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Sometimes blues can seem unemotional because they're not moved by emotions, right? So if you're a yellow and you're a motivator and you're inspirational and you're trying to say, hey, we're going to get this house, it's going to be awesome, and you're trying to hype them up, a blue doesn't respond to that. A blue responds to numbers, facts, and figures. You might have that client that has done all the research, done all the reading, they know the house prices, they know the area, they know the interest rates. You're going to have to deal with that client or that person in your life using lots of facts and details and specific facts, right? Blues don't like saying, if I'm going to go meet a client and I tell that client and they're a blue that I'll be there around 8, all right? Be there at 8. Or what I'll do if I'm dealing with a blue is if I tell them I'm going to be there at 8, as I'm en route, I'll say, hey, 29 minutes is my ETA. They like that specificity, all right? So just keep that in mind when dealing with blues. Remember, understanding yourself and understanding your personality is really one of the best ways to establish relationships with those that are close to you and business relationships. Because you can understand how you act in certain situations, but you can also understand how other people act in certain situations. And after reading this book, now when I'm talking to people, I'm like, that's a yellow. That's a blue with probably a hint of green. Oh, that's definitely a green with a hint of blue. Oh, that's a red. I know reds, and they got some yellow in them too. And it's just a quick way for you to understand people quickly. Obviously, we want to get to know people's likes and dislikes and motivations and the things that move them and inspire them. Those things will always be really, really, really important. But I think especially in business where sometimes it's just a transaction. Of course, we want our business to be relational, but when it's just a transaction, it's really, really helpful to know exactly what you're dealing with when it comes to the personality type. Hey, if you like my content, please hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the sub button and karate chop that bell for notifications. This is the House of Motivation, the place where inspiration lives. Peace.